to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It is bright and early. We are off to our first adventure of the day. Yesterday we flew in. We arrived at 9:30 a.m.-ish, actually more like 8:30 to Boston. And it was a cozy rainy day exploring the city. So I will insert everything we did yesterday right now. Once we landed in Boston, we headed out to our rental car, which was definitely helpful to have a car for this trip. You don't really need one if you're just gonna stay in Boston, but if you do want to explore Cape Cod, it's definitely helpful. And then we walked around the Boston Public Garden, which was beautiful even in the rain. And we were definitely ready for a warm cup of coffee and a cozy meal. So we headed to Tate Bakery and Cafe, which there's a few different locations around the city. So it's super convenient and super delicious. After we grabbed a bite to eat, we went to the Boston Public Library, which was definitely my favorite part of Boston. It is just absolutely breathtaking. So beautiful, and it's free admission. You're able to just stroll around at your own pace and explore. It was really neat too, because while we were here, there was actually live music in the courtyard. So there was this really talented band performing, which was kind of ironic because you could actually hear them in the library. So it was quite loud, even though it was at the library, but it was absolutely magical, and the rain kind of even made it more of a cozy situation. So we loved exploring the library and taking a look at all the different nooks and crannies. After the library, we walked along the Freedom Trail, which is an incredible, unique collection of different iconic museums, churches, meeting houses, and burying grounds, as well as parks and ships and just historic landmarks that take place in the Boston area. And it's really neat because it's actually all connected by this really thin kind of red line. So some of it's this red brick, some of it's just painted red, but they're all connected. So you could actually just follow this little red line to all the different iconic spots. So that's precisely what we did. We visited just everything we passed pretty much, and we really enjoyed the markets because we were able to grab some snacks, and we grabbed some chocolate chip cookies from QUINCY Market at a place called the Chip Yard, which was very charming and just had really delicious little cookies. So it's a great little snack. And then after we walked around the markets, we headed to Thinking Cup for a nice warm cup of coffee, and we kind of made our game plan for the rest of the day. And we also passed the Paul Revere house. There's a museum and stuff, but we didn't go in the museum. We just kind of took a look on the outside. And then we went to Mike's Pastries, which is an iconic pastry shop in the North End, which is just known for its Italian communities and influence. And it was just so fun to experience this. And there was a line outside, but thankfully it went by super fast, and we had some time to kill anyways because we put in our names at this Italian restaurant called Carmelina's, and we just had about an hour wait, but it was great because we could explore while we waited for our table, and the wait was worth it because the food was absolutely divine. And then today we are off to Nantucket, which is a small little island off of the coast of Cape Cod. And basically the plan for today is just to explore, go shopping, get some yummy food, and just see what the island has in store. We do have a sailboat ride scheduled for 1:30 p.m., but not sure if the weather will cooperate, but we'll see. It's going to be a fabulous day exploring, and I'm excited to show you guys what we get up to. Okay, here's a tour of our Airbnb. It is absolutely stunning. It is even more beautiful than it is in pictures. I absolutely love the listing pictures, but it actually has exceeded the expectations. So you walk up these stairs. It's in their carriage house. So they have their home just in the back of the property, but this is in the front. And then you have this cute little balcony, and the weather's pretty cool. So we might need to sit out there for a bit. And then you have the main living space. Brandon's just being a model for us. Look how pretty this light is. Oh my goodness, and this little kitchenette with the open shelving, and there's even a dishwasher and a mini fridge and pretty much everything, so we could even cook if we wanted to. Pretty flower, and I just love the greenery in the windows. It's just so dreamy. He's just chilling in the chairs. We have this absolutely gorgeous fireplace, the TV, great mirror. Check out our outfits, and then the bed. This looks so heavenly. And it's just so cozy, especially for like a cozy little rainy night. So we love it. I love this rug as well. I might need to find out where it's from. And then the restroom is also so beautiful. We've got the toilet with some, you know, towels and whatnot. Beautiful shower. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And then another beautiful light fixture. And the mirrors and stunning sink and countertop. So very, very happy with this and super excited to call this home for the next few nights. For transportation to Nantucket, we took the Highline cruise, and it was about an hour ferry ride, but it definitely was quite scenic, even though it was rainy once again, and it was a good experience. We're glad we grabbed some breakfast from just a local breakfast place beforehand, so we were able to eat that on the ferry. They do have a little bar, so I think you can get drinks. I'm not sure if you can get food, but if you don't have time to grab a bite to eat beforehand, they have that option. Okay, we're on the ferry. It's quite choppy out there. It's very bumpy, but thankfully we don't get seasick. Thankfully, as pretending it's extra bumpy. Unfortunately, our sailboat ride did get canceled, but it's okay. We're still gonna explore, make the most of it, and tomorrow we have whale watching, so hopefully that will be not canceled so that we can go on another boat. But even just going on this ferry is really exciting to see the ocean. Once we got to Nantucket, we strolled around the downtown area briefly, which is one of the great things about Nantucket is that the ferry drops you off right in the middle of downtown. And it was also nice that the Nantucket Farmers Market was taking place, so we were able to stroll through that because it was on a Saturday. But I really did want to explore this place called Sconset, which is a more residential area. So we were able to take the public bus, which is the Wave bus. It cost $3 per person. It's a great way to kind of explore the island without renting a car. Okay, we made it to Nantucket, and where the ferry drops off is kind of like downtown Nantucket, and we took a bus over to Sconset, which is the most precious little town. All of the houses look like little cottages, and they're just covered with flowers. It's just very dreamy, and we grabbed a cup of coffee because it's quite breezy and a bit chilly, so we're trying to stay warm, and we're gonna go on the Sconset Bluff walk and just kind of explore, maybe even walk to a lighthouse. We'll see how far we make it. The best things we did was the Sconset Bluff walk, and virtually this is just kind of a walk in people's backyards. You're totally allowed to do this, but it's basically this path alongside the beach, but also the sweet cottages that are nestled in the coastline, and you're able to look at all the beautiful trellises and the ocean, and it was just very stunning and incredibly peaceful. So that was such a treat. And then we also walked down to the beach and enjoyed the waves, and we even saw some sort of sea lion. I'm not exactly sure what kind of sea lion or sea creature it is, so if you know, please comment down below what you think it was, but it was really cool to see. And then we grabbed some lunch at Claudette's Sandwiches, which is just a really iconic sandwich shop, and it was so delicious. I got a veggie and it was lovely. And then we got some coffee at Handlebar Coffee, and then just strolled around all of the shops for the rest of the day. And we also strolled through Old North Wharf, which is in the downtown area, but it's just this absolutely fabulous street with these beautiful nautical cottages that are just covered with hydrangeas and roses, and it's just a very beautiful spot. So I'm glad we peeked through there. I had to grab a sweater as a souvenir because one thing that's so iconic about Nantucket is these little pullover sweaters, and since it was chilly anyways, I had the perfect excuse to grab one, and I'm definitely happy to own one. And it was just really nice to pop in the shops, stay warm, and we even grabbed some ice cream despite the cold. And the juice bar is another iconic Nantucket gem, and the ice cream did not disappoint, and it just smelled like waffle cones from a few blocks away. So that was such a treat. We loved popping into Mitchell's Book Corner, which is this dreamy bookshop with a stunning and super cozy reading room on the top, which was just such a delight to see. And then for dinner, I made reservations in advance, which I would definitely recommend doing just to be safe, because it can definitely be a little bit more busy in, the summer months. But I reserved a table at Or the Whale, which was such a great pick because it's a wonderful atmosphere. They have a great little bar and courtyard, and then also the inside is really beautiful and cozy, and their cuisine is definitely very imaginative and delicious. We are back home from our magical day in Nantucket. Brandon really described it best because on the ride back home to our little Airbnb, he said it's like we took a ferry ride to a fairyland, which is just such a good way of describing it because it was just gorgeous. I mean, the houses, the hydrangeas, everything was really beautiful, and I really love the nautical feel of everything. So definitely a highlight. I'm so glad we made the trip. The weather wasn't the best, of course. I mean, it was really chilly, especially for July. Us Floridians are just like, how is it 60 degrees in July? But it really was still so beautiful, and we were able to do pretty much everything we wanted to do besides the sailboat ride. So we have to come back one day and hopefully get some sunshine, and we'll be able to go on a sailboat ride. But hopefully the whale watching excursion tomorrow will not get rained out. So fingers crossed for that. And we did pick up some souvenirs, so I'll show you what we picked up. I made some decaf coffee, and we have these little Cape Cod chocolates that our Airbnb host left for us, which is so sweet. We haven't tried any yet because yesterday we had our little cannolis and stuff, but this is what they look like. And then souvenirs from Nantucket. First and foremost, I have this adorable little pullover that I picked up. It says Nantucket, and it has the island on it, and it's this really nice material. It's kind of like a wool material, so super cozy. And then we also picked up this ornament from Flowers on Chestnut, Nantucket, which if you come, you have to go to this store because it was absolutely just whimsical, beautiful, so charming, and it was full of fresh flowers because it's a flower shop, but they also have a gift shop and a ton of other goodies. And we just picked up this cute little ornament because I do want to start collecting ornaments from all the places we go, so whenever we decorate our Christmas tree every year, we can smile and look back at all the places. So I thought this was simple and perfect with the cute whale. And then we also just picked up some gifts. So we have this one from Gift in Box, which is just like a cute little tiny gift shop. And it's a candle by this brand Farm and Sea, which I really like this brand. They had body products as well, some perfume. Oh, it smells delish. And this is Cozy Harbor. And then the other gift we picked up is the same brand, but it's a body butter. And the scent is, I kind of forget. The scent is Beach Girl. So super cute, lots of goodies. It was really such a treat to explore all of the boutiques, and they really had so many boutiques. So really enjoyed our time. I hope you guys enjoyed all the videos of the hydrangeas, the cute little cottages. It's just, you know, something special. But now we are just gonna sip on some decaf coffee, cuddle up, shower, and get to bed and get all rested up for tomorrow's adventure. Good morning, friends. It's the 4th of July, hence the sweatshirt, and we're off to another day of exploring. We have already gotten a little curveball. The weather threw a wrench in our original plans. So we had a whale watching excursion today at 4 p.m. So we were really excited for that, but they actually canceled it this morning due to weather. So we're gonna rebook it for tomorrow morning because it's looking like beautiful weather then. And then today we were just gonna kind of chill around this area and drive over to a lighthouse, kind of, in what direction was the lighthouse in, B? South. But now we're gonna, and tomorrow we were gonna go to Provincetown, which is at the very tip of the Cape. So we're gonna switch that around. We're gonna go to Provincetown today and then drive through Chatham on our way back and kind of spend the afternoon, evening there. So that's the plan, but I am a little nervous because it is the 4th of July, so it's a holiday and, you know, it might be a little crazy and hectic. So hopefully we'll be able to get a parking spot. Who knows, but it's definitely gonna be adventure, that's for sure. We stopped and picked up some breakfast that Brandon ordered ahead of time just so we would have some fuel on our drive to Provincetown because it's about an hour away. So we have these delicious pancakes. What are these called?
Like crunchy granola, something.
Crunchy granola pancakes. I mean, yum, and some fruit. Have some more fruit here. It's from the Buttercup Cafe. Then we have this beautiful omelet with a croissant as well. So, bon appetit. Once we arrived in Provincetown, we drove around for a little bit and we were able to find a parking lot, and it's pretty standard that you're gonna pay about $15 a day for parking in this area, especially in the busy season. So we just paid that and then parked our car and then walked around for the rest of the day. It was really fun to see all the sights and commotion and activity. It's definitely a very lively place, which we love. So we just strolled over, and our final destination for the morning was the Provincetown Causeway. So we stopped and got some coffee to accompany us on our journey over, and then we were able to just stop at different pretty houses and shops along the way.
And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender.
The Provincetown Causeway is really neat because in low tide, you're able to walk along these rocks all the way to this beautiful beach and lighthouse. And it's really amazing because it's actually quite a long walk. There were a good amount of people exploring, and it just felt super adventurous to kind of walk all around these rocks. And thankfully the tide was low, so we were able to do this, but you definitely want to check the tides beforehand because it's actually amazing how high the tide gets. And unfortunately, if the tide is high, you're not able to do this experience because it is quite dangerous and slippery, and the water can even come up over the rocks. So just want to double check and be careful with that. But the lighthouse was so beautiful and very peaceful. So after that, we just headed back to the downtown Provincetown area, and we grabbed some lunch from the Lobster Pot, which is another incredibly iconic place to eat. Once we left Provincetown, we stopped at some sand dunes that we passed on the way into town, and this was just absolutely incredible because this is not what we're used to in our home state of Florida. It's definitely a unique experience and just so lovely to look out and see just a vast landscape of sand. As we were leaving Provincetown, we made a little pit stop at the Shacks Dune Trail. It's part of the
Shacks?
Oh yes, Dune Shacks Trail. I mixed it up, but you get the gist. And it was very neat. Definitely worth the pit stop. It was very unique. We don't have many sand dunes in Florida, so that was a cool experience. And now we're driving over to Chatham, which is just like another neat little town. And I think we're gonna go to the Chatham Bars Inn, which is just like a very idyllic, you know, picturesque Cape Cod resort, and I think we're gonna pick up dinner there. We're not terribly hungry right now after the lobster roll and all of our snacks, but we think a, you know, nice farm-to-table meal will be great for dinner. And they actually have a farm on property, so a lot of their food is just really fresh and apparently delicious. So we gotta put it to the test. Exploring the Cape. I just got out of the shower. It feels so nice to take a hot shower because it still is so chilly here, but it's so beautiful. And the sun even started to peek out today, which was so lovely. And I'm so glad we went to the Chatham Bar Inn. It was absolutely breathtaking, even more beautiful than photos, truly. And like I kind of mentioned, I wasn't sure what the situation would be with parking, if we would be even able to eat there because we weren't guests at the hotel. Thankfully, we were totally allowed, and basically they just had valet parking, which was free. Of course, you want to tip and stuff, so of course we did that, but you didn't have to pay like an valet fee. Besides, you didn't have to pay the tip, but you know, it's just like common courtesy. So that was really nice surprise that was kind of just a typical thing. And then we just strolled around, walked to the beach, walked through the lobby, and then we ended up eating at the Veranda Cafe, and we got some charcuterie, salads, dessert, some warm chocolate chip cookies with homemade ice cream and decaf coffee. It was just so beautiful, such a lovely evening. Brandon and I were talking, and I think tonight was my favorite part of our trip so far. It was just everything I could hope for in the quintessential Cape Cod experience. So super thankful. And it was really funny because this hotel, it is very fancy smancy. Fancy smancy? Fancy smancy? Fancy smancy. It was very fancy smancy. And as we were getting our car, we rented like the most basic car ever. It's this little Nissan. I don't know what year it is, but it still has like the roll down windows. You use your hand to roll it down, and the key, it doesn't have a clicker to unlock the doors or anything. It's just like one metal key. It was really funny because the valet guy said, so they parked it right out front, which typically in valet, they park all the nice cars right out front. So it was this little Nissan that we're driving, a Mercedes, a Porsche, you know, a Tesla, all these fancy luxury cars, and then our little Nissan. And when he pulls up to drop it off, he goes, I put this bad boy right out front, which was just really funny. He said something like that. It gave us a good laugh and was just like a cherry on top of a very pleasant evening. So super thankful. We're gonna sleep so good tonight. I checked the little health app to see all the steps we did, and we walked over 8 miles today. So we are tired and ready to get beautiful nights of sleep, and then another day of adventuring tomorrow. Which is kind of in the southern part of the Cape, and we picked up some breakfast from this really cute place called Coffee Obsession, which of course we got a coffee. We got an iced mocha, delicious, and we have a cinnamon scone, a Asiago bagel, and the breakfast salad. We had a great little breakfast in the Woods Hole area. It was such a cute little town. Definitely recommend visiting. Then we drove over to the Nobska Lighthouse, and we're gonna walk around the lighthouse and explore a bit. Nobska Lake is really a beautiful sight to see because it's on the southwestern tip of Cape Cod, so it actually overlooks Martha's Vineyard, and it's super close to the ferry to Martha's Vineyard, which is another wonderful day or weekend trip, which we definitely hope to do someday. and it was actually established in 1826. There was also this nice little path and bench across the street, so we were able to get a closer look over the seaside. Now it's time for whale watching. We did our whale watching excursion with Hyannis Whale Watching, and I would definitely recommend it. It was such a wonderful experience. The only thing that I would do differently is I would bring a little picnic for us, because the whale watching cruise is about 4 hours. I believe ours was almost 5 hours, so it's definitely quite the journey. And they actually do have a snack bar on the downstairs, which was great, and we grabbed some snacks, but I wish I packed like a, more gourmet picnic so we could just have a more elevated experience. But it seriously was so wonderful, and the guide is truly just so passionate about these animals, and it was so special to witness them in their natural habitat and just so up close. It's definitely an experience I'll treasure throughout my lifetime.
All the way up to her top of her rostrum. Here she is coming up. There's the front of her. Those little gray things that you see. Oh, she's such an amazing whale.
Without my love for the ocean.
On our whale watching adventure, we were able to spot 3 different humpback whales and 1 fin whale, which all of them were just so breathtaking. And after our little adventure, we were hungry for a nice meal. We found this Mexican restaurant called Añejo, and it was definitely delicious. Another very imaginative place with unique things. I loved the plantains. And then we grabbed some ice cream from Katie's Homemade Ice Cream, which was also delicious. Good morning, friends. It's our last full day on vacation, which is always bittersweet. It's sad, but we're gonna make the most of it. We just got dressed and ready, and we're packing up at our Airbnb because tonight we're staying in Boston right by the airport. And the plan for today is we're gonna drive to a breakfast place in this town called Sandwich, which is such a cute name for a town, and then just explore Boston for the rest of the day. So excited to see what we get up to. Breakfast was delicious, and we stopped by Mary Lou's Coffee, which lots of people recommended. It's a very iconic coffee spot sprinkled around the Cape, and I got a coconut, what was it? Creamy chocolate coconut, and I like it. It's really good, but it's not my favorite. It could have been, I wish I ordered something different, honestly. When we pulled up, they accidentally handed us a peanut butter coffee, and it looked so creamy, and I didn't ask for any cream or sugar in this, and it's good. It's just like, I feel like there's something better out there, but I'm glad we have a little coffee to accompany us on our drive. Just like that, we were back in Boston, and this time, much different than our first day. It was very sunny and quite toasty, so quite the contrast, but cool to kind of experience Boston with opposite ends of the spectrum of weather. And we walked around Beacon Hill and Acorn Street, and then we checked into our hotel. Wow, that is cool, honey. That is beautiful. We're back where we started in Boston, and we checked into the Hyatt Regency at Boston Harbor, and the view is amazing. It's also super convenient because it's right next to the airport, so in the morning when we have to catch our flight, we can just kind of roll out of bed, catch a shuttle, and we'll be at the airport. It's just like right across the street. So this is the view. Very beautiful.
Remember sunsets in Boston, kissing yellow concrete.
I also wanted to show you some souvenirs we picked up at this cute little gift shop in Sandwich. So we picked up 2 sets, so it'll be 8 in total of these beautiful napkins. They're hand dyed, and I've been wanting napkins for a while that I can just reuse and set the table with, so love those. And then we also picked up a chocolate bar for my mom because she's watching Palmer, and we picked her up a few more things. So this looked really cute and just a quintessential Cape Cod souvenir. And then we picked up this little candy bar, or I guess they're just little candies. They're the sea glass candies, and we picked this up for my niece, so I think she'll like that. And then the last thing, we picked up some of this Lighthouse mustard, the Cape Cod Beachcomber mustard, and I actually bought one of these for my mom yesterday when we went whale watching. They had a little gift shop and they had this, but then I was thinking, ooh, I really want one for us as well because we love mustard, and this just looks so fresh and delish. For the rest of the day, we actually continued on the Freedom Trail on the section that we weren't able to cover on our first day. So we passed the USS Constitution Museum. We didn't go in or anything, but we just walked along the outside, and then we grabbed dinner at this place called Brewers Fork, which was so delicious. It's a casual place, but the pizza and salad, ooh, the flatbread salad was just seriously so good. I think about it to this day. And then we ended the night in the North End, which again has this beautiful Italian influence, and we got a cappuccino and gelato and just enjoyed the atmosphere and a beautiful Boston sunset.
Until we couldn't go to sleep. Wish it lasted forever.
Okay, friends, we are back at the hotel. We had a lovely night. Oh, wow, that was loud. We had a lovely night exploring Boston. Got some delicious pizza and a yummy salad, and then some gelato and a cappuccino in the North End, then walked along the wharf. Just, you know, a classic, beautiful Boston evening. But we're gonna call it a night and end the vlog here. We have our flight pretty early tomorrow morning, so just gonna, you know, get a good night's sleep and then head home. But thank you guys so much for watching this travel vlog. What was your favorite part of the trip, B?
Yeah, probably... I forget the name of the place that we went. Like southwest of
So memorable.
Southeast of Cape Cod.
Chatham Bars Inn.
Yeah,
when we went to Chatham, that was both of our favorite night, just because, well, we loved everything, but it was just such a quintessential Cape Cod experience, just having that dinner with the hydrangeas and the sun was shining, delicious meal. It was just perfect. But everything was really so special, and we'll definitely remember this trip.
In our Airbnb, just like
oh, and our Airbnb, it was so cool. Cozy. So thankful for all these memories, and thank you guys so much for watching and following along, and we cannot wait to see you super soon. Bye!
Bye!
Yay!